ever had one of those moments where you kind of kick yourself for putting something off?
Hmm.
It's like, man, I wish I had just done that when I first thought about it.
Oh, totally. We've all been there, right? That feeling of only.
Exactly. Well, today we're diving into a story that really highlights that kind of regret, especially when it comes to making those important decisions. We're looking at a YouTube video.
Oh, cool. What's it called?
It's called MDRT Volume 1, Inspiring Story from Sanjay Tolani from the I Am Advisor channel. Have you seen it?
I haven't actually, but I'm intrigued. MDRT, that's the $1 Million Round Table, right? The top financial folks.
That's them. And this guy, Sanjay Tolani, he's a successful insurance advisor. But his story, it's about more than just selling insurance. It's about how putting things off, even with the best intentions, can have some pretty serious consequences, particularly when it comes to protecting the people we care about.
Heavy stuff. So, what happened? Lay it on me.
So, Tolani tells this story about a good friend of his, right? His friend had been thinking about getting life insurance for a while. They had talked about it, like, off and on. And finally, it seemed like he was ready to actually do it.
Okay, so he was finally taking the plunge.
Yeah, he was. They even got together and started filling out the paperwork.
Wow, so close.
I know, right? But then, life happened. His friend had to travel for work and said he'd send the check when he got back.
Mm-hmm.
But, he never got the chance.
Oh no, what happened?
There was a really bad accident. His friend, he didn't make it. And Tolani got the call, not from his friend, but from his friend's wife. And you can imagine how she was feeling, right? Totally devastated, of course. But on top of that, Tolani realized something awful.
What was that?
He realized that if his friend had just made, like, a small payment, a deposit, basically, his family would have been taken care of financially, like a substantial payout.
Mm.
But because the paperwork wasn't completely finished, they were left with nothing. Just a pile of bills and this huge, heavy what if hanging over them.
Wow. Talk about a gut punch. That's rough.
It really is. And Tolani, he puts it so bluntly. He says, I had the power to protect that family, and I did not. I mean, that's a powerful statement. It really stuck with me. He carries that weight,
Absolutely. You can just hear the regret in his voice. That kind of guilt, it can really eat at you.
It's a reminder that sometimes those I'll do it later moments, they can have consequences that we don't even see coming. And it makes you think, what are we putting off in our own lives that could have a similar impact?
Yeah, it's a heavy thought for sure. And Tolani, I mean, it's clear this experience really changed him. It's like it became this turning point in how he approaches his work.
So how did he actually change things? Like, how do you help other people avoid that same kind of regret?
Well, he talks a lot about just taking that first step, even if it feels scary or overwhelming, Just do something.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's easy to get stuck in overthinking, right? Like analysis paralysis, I think they call it.
Exactly. And he brings up this free look period. Most life insurance policies have it.
Right. I've heard of that.
It's basically like a trial period, usually like 10 to 30 days or something.
Yeah, where you can cancel and get your money back if you change your mind.
Right. So it's like there's really no risk in at least checking it out. Just seeing what's out there and what works for you.
It takes the pressure off, right? Like, you don't have to commit right away. You can just explore your options.
Exactly. It's about going from just thinking about it to actually doing something about it.
And he has this really interesting analogy to kind of explain it.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
He compares it to that airplane safety thing, where they tell you to put on your own oxygen mask before helping others.
Oh, I see what he's getting at there. That's a good one.
Yeah, he's saying that taking care of your family's financial future, it's kind of like putting on that oxygen mask first.
You got to secure your own financial well-being before you can truly help others. Makes total sense.
It's about recognizing that taking care of your own finances, it's not selfish. It's actually responsible, especially when you have people who depend on you.
For sure. And Tolani, he goes even further with this. He actually shows his clients his own life insurance policy.
Wow, really?
Yeah. He says everyone likes to copy, So he leads by example.
That's a pretty powerful way to build trust. It's like he's saying, look, I believe in this enough to invest in it myself. You should too.
It shows his commitment, not just to the idea of life insurance, but to his clients' well-being, and people respond to that.
Definitely. So for those of us listening, what are the key takeaways here? Like, even if we're not thinking about life insurance right now, what can we learn from Tolani's experience?
That's a great question. I think the big thing is action, right? Like, don't wait. Procrastination, it can have real consequences. Sometimes the hardest part is just taking that first step, whatever it is,
Yeah.
Your finances, your health, your relationships. Don't let fear or indecision hold you back. Just do it.
And speaking of taking action, if you want to hear more about Tolani's story and learn more about financial security, we've got something special for you.
Oh, tell me more.
We've got the full YouTube video on our Telegram channel. Plus, we've got some exclusive content from the $1 Million Roundtable, the MDRT.
Ooh, nice. That's like the gold standard for financial advice, right?
Exactly. They're a global association of top financial professionals. So their stuff is super valuable.
Definitely worth checking out.
You can find the link to our Telegram channel in the episode description. Don't miss out. It really makes you think, about all the stuff we push aside, those things we keep telling ourselves we'll get to someday.
It's so easy to fall into that trap, isn't it? But this story is like a wake-up call. Life insurance, it might not seem like the most exciting topic, but Tolani's story, it really makes it real. It's about taking responsibility for the people we care about.
Yeah, no doubt. And the thing is, it's not just about life insurance, right? It's about taking action in general. Like, what can we do today to protect the people we love?
Yeah.
What are we putting off that could make a real difference? Not just for them, but for us too.
Exactly. Like, don't wait for someday. Someday might never come, right? Take a page from Tolani's book and just do it. Make it happen now.
And if you're looking for a little extra motivation, a little guidance along the way, well, remember that Telegram channel we mentioned?
Oh, yeah, with the full video and all that MDRT goodness.
That's the one. The link's down in the episode description. It's a great way to connect with other people who are on the same journey, too. Folks who are serious about taking control of their finances and building a better future.
A community of like-minded people, that's always helpful, right? Especially when you're tackling something as important as financial security.
Absolutely. So, big thanks for joining us on this deep dive. It's been a really thought-provoking one, and we hope you got as much out of it as we did.
And remember, take action. Don't wait. The time is now.
Couldn't have said it better myself. See you next time, folks.